Hello, my dear friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, Israel. Well, this week we have a real great match for you. We have Esau and Yaacov. Esau and Yaacov. It's only the beginning, but it's an inspiring beginning. Now remember, Rivka, their mother, was barren for a number of years. She couldn't have children. And remember, she got married at a very early age. Of course, trying to have children wasn't until much later in her life. But it says, as a matter of fact, that Yitzhak was 60 years old. And since he was 40 when she was 3, you can do the math. You know that she wasn't a kid. Okay, so they all davened to Hashem, and Hashem blessed her with a pregnancy. And in her pregnancy, there were 2 babies. There was Esau and there was Yaakov. Now, she didn't know this at the beginning, but what happened is she was walking down the street and she'd go past a place where they were learning Torah, she'd get kicked. And if they were going past a place where they were gambling or a house of prostitution or something that was not nice, she'd also get kicked. And she was told this is because there are 2 inside of you, and the older one will serve the younger one. That means Esau will serve Yaakov. And throughout this whole parsha, we keep seeing that it seems to get the cards stacked for Jacob and against Esau. And when Esau comes in from hunting and he sees that Yaakov is cooking and he's made some nice red porridge and says, "Pour some of that hot red stuff down my throat. I'm starving." And what does Jacob say? He says, okay, I'll give you some, but it's going to cost you. He said, fine, whatever it costs. I'm hungry. I don't care. He says, well, I want your birthright. And what need do I have for a birthright? I'm starving right now. If I don't eat, I won't live to have a birthright. It won't really matter. Give me the red stuff. So I gave it to him. So you see, once again, we see that Jacob is favored to take over. And then, of course, at the time of Isaac looking around and saying, I'm getting old. I don't know how much longer I've got. The truth is he did have many years still left. But he wanted to have this final meal just in case it was a final meal. And he called for Esau to go out and hunt for him and get the foods that he liked, Well, his wife, Rivka, heard this. And so what she does is she tells Yaakov, no, you need to go in there and you need to get the blessing before your brother gets back. So she prepared the food and everything else, and he went in. And interestingly enough, and I'm going to get back to where we started in just a minute, but this has to be mentioned. When Jacob goes into his father Isaac says to him, the smell is the smell of Esau. The feel is the feel of Esau. The sound, the voice is the voice of Jacob. Why did he think that it might be Esau? Well, because he was given Esau's clothes, which, by the way, I should tell you, were very old clothes. They came down from the time of Adam. And it was why Esau was so good at hunting, because these clothes attracted the prey. He took the prey in. That's it. But for whatever reason, I don't know if his mom said, we need to wash these, they smell bad, they got to be taken care of. Whatever the reason was, she had his clothes and she put them on her younger son, Jacob. So when Jacob goes in to see his father says, I smell the fields on you. Now, a lot of people think that means the fields where you go hunting. And they may be right. But there are a lot of rabbiim who say, no, that's not the field he was talking about. He was talking about the field of Gan Eden. Well, how would Isaac know anything about the field of Gan Eden and what it smelled like? Oh, let's go back a week to the Akedah. The Akedah, when Abraham was going to sacrifice his only son to Hashem, and he put the knife down, and he was getting ready to do it. Now, anybody could do that and hesitate for a moment and say, no, I can't do this. This is too much. I cannot give up my son. I've waited too long for him. But not Abraham. He knew Hashem would take care of it one way or the other. So what he did is he started to go, and the rabbis tell us that for a while, Isaac did go away. He went into the next world. He went into Gan Eden. And so therefore, he knew what the smell was like. And when his son came to him for the bracha, he immediately recognized the smell. And Gan Eden, of course, is associated with Adam, and he thought, okay, well, maybe my senses are off a little bit, so I'm not getting it the way I should, but at any rate, this is what I'm going to do, and he got the blessing. Now, he should have gotten the blessing because actually he bought the birthright for a bowl of red porridge. I know, sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's what happened. But let's go a little bit further. One of the things the rabbis talk about is the fact that it says that the older will serve the younger. In other words, Esau will serve Jacob. Sounds like a done deal, doesn't it? The bad guys will be underneath the good guys. But there's more to it than that. They go on to explain that in essence, this is a deal dependent on certain factors. In other words, the factors are, for example, that Jacob's and his children and his children's children and his children's children have to maintain the connection with Hashem. They have to learn the laws. They have to maintain the connection. They have to be close to Hashem. They have to do what Hashem wants them to do. Because if they don't do that, it's like the pedals of a bicycle. They go to the bottom, and Esau goes to the top. And I don't know if you knew that or not. And if you didn't, I'm glad you know it now. Because it's very important, particularly when you look at the world in which we live today. There's a lot of bad things going on out there. We hear them on the news. We hear them on social media. We see them every day in our lives. There's so many that it's hard not to notice. We can't ignore them anymore. We know what's going on. We know how much bad is being done. We know about the fact that there are people out there who believe that the lives of unborn babies are useless. And that's not true. A life is a life. Whether it's born, whether it's not born, it is still a life. And there are so many other things that we could go into where they are not doing what is being done. Lying, cheating, stealing, things that are very bad. And these are going on in our society right now. Hopefully not among us, but among the other side. However, none of us can sit here and say we are blameless. We all have some blame to hold up in this. So here's the problem. Well, not problem, I hate the word problem. Here's the challenge. How, because right now it would appear that Esau's on top and Jacob's on the bottom. How do we make the pedals go around so that once again, Jacob is on top and Esau is underneath? The answer is very simple, but it's not very easy. The simplicity of the answer is we need to get closer to Hashem. We need to learn more Torah. We need to learn Gemara, Midrashim. We need to learn all the things that bring us close to Him. Remember that these are connections to Hashem that came through rabbis and through many others who were very well versed in what He wanted, so they know how to tell us what do we need to do to get closer. So we want to get closer. If we get closer, and it's not, like I say, it's simple, but it's not easy. It requires work. It requires time. And my Rebbe sometimes says to me, how come you study so much? How come you learn so much? I say, that's my job. It's my job. It's your job. It's everybody's job. It's what brings us closer to Hashem. It's what brings us closer to a life of love, joy, and fulfillment, and being close to our Creator, which is what our goal is here on this planet, is to do these things. Yes, there are certain tikkunim that we have. There are certain corrections we have that we need to correct. That is important. But Hashem put us here for some reason besides that. There's more to it. What is the reason? I wish I could tell you what the reason was. It's not, yours is different than mine. Mine is different than his is different than hers. They're all different reasons, and we have to find out what they are. And here's a good test. If it's really something really hard for you to do, that's probably it. Because people will say to me, I can't do my tikkun. It's too hard. I'd rather do Fred's tikkun. Well, you know what? Fred would probably rather do your tikkun. Because for him, what you think is easy is extremely difficult for him. That's why it's his tikkun, okay? What is hard for us to do is usually our tikkun. So what we need to do is clean up ourselves. We need to get to our own personal redemption. And because of this, if we do our own personal redemption, and then after we do this, we go around trying to help the people around us to go through their personal redemption, we will bring about the total, final redemption and the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu, the third Beit HaMikdash B'Mehera V'Yomeinu. These are things that are very important to know, my friends. We need to keep Jacob on top. We need to get him back up there. He's on the way up. We need to help that happen by doing what we need to do, which is staying close to our Creator. Be well, my friends. Chodesh Tov, Shabbat Shalom. Have a great Shabbos and a great week ahead. Be well. All the best. God bless.